5 new mobile game recommendations in just 5 minutes? Let's dive in and be sure to stick around till the end where I share which game was my personal favorite of this week. Nexon seems to be just pushing out mobile games these days, and one of their latest, Returners, is a unique gacha RPG where every hero can be unlocked for in-game gold, and the auto combat, 100% auto, no turning it off by the way, actually makes sense as we set up an attack strategy before each fight, not unlike Cats, Crash Arena Turbo Stars, although it's a vastly different game. The strategy goes rather deep in Returners, and some might find the money systems a bit too much to get into, but the game seems pretty solid overall, although I do not like the fact that there's an energy system, even though it never really limited me. Lastly, for a gacha RPG, it's nice that every hero can be upgraded from 1 star to 6 star, instead of having to depend on luck to get a 6 star hero through a loot box. We do have to wait a few hours for heroes to transcend, but it's still better than depending on pure luck. The game requires online access, takes up 889 megabytes of space, is out on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely go play this one. Retro Highway is an 80s themed endless arcade motorcycle racer with a true retro vibe and a bunch of bikes that can be acquired for gold and maps that unlock after completing enough missions. In terms of monetization, the game has a $2 in-app purchase to remove ads, of which there are quite a few, and 2 in-app purchases to buy gold if we want fancier motorcycles faster. I love that the game has successfully recreated the arcade sense of speed as we blast through the heavy highway traffic, an easy casual game to recommend for you guys. The game is offline playable, it takes up 128 megabytes of space, it's out both on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely go play this one. A hardcore Metroidvania 2D side-scrolling platformer that has no in-app purchases, but instead has ads that appear if we're too bad at the game? Dungeon x Dungeon was definitely the most insane game I played this week. The controls aren't perfect, but once you get used to them, I would suggest D-pad over joystick by the way, they work decently well and the retro graphics just look great. The monsters we meet eventually get so strong, however, that we're more or less forced to watch reward ads to get the currency required to upgrade our weapons, although we do receive the same currency from simply killing monsters. Apart from the ad traps that we might hit if we're bad at the game, this is the only way the game monetizes, however, so it's hardly a thing to complain about. The game can be played offline, so that's great. It takes up 153 megabytes of space, is out on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play this one. Disney Heroes Battle Mode is an RPG targeted mostly towards kids with $100 in-app purchase monetizations, gacha elements, an energy system, and forced auto combat. What went wrong here? The game is insanely polished and smooth, but it's honestly more of an idle RPG as we do nothing other than tap our heroes in order to use special attacks. But as a Netflix binge second screen experience, I suppose the game is actually quite perfect. But don't play this one unless you really love Disney or need a game to play while doing other stuff. And I think it's fair to criticize Disney for this type of monetization in a game targeted mostly towards a younger audience, even though I'm a huge Disney fan myself. The game requires online access, it takes up 261 megabytes of space, it's out on Android and iOS, but my final verdict is that you should skip this one because it's honestly not the best game around. Although released back in 2011, Celtic Heroes is a huge classic, meaning no auto stuff by the way, 3D MMORPG that still gets consistently updated and does have an active community. With 5 classes, Warriors, Mage, Druid, Ranger, and Rogue, a stat and skill system that allows individual customization, and lots of quests and interesting skills, I had a lot of fun playing this mobile MMO. The UI sadly can't be customized, but at least the monetization seems to focus primarily on pay to progress faster, although as with any MMO, the community seems to discuss internally whether or not this game is actually pay to win. The game obviously requires online access, it takes up 859 megabytes of space, it's out on Android and iOS, and my final verdict is that you should definitely play this one as it's my favorite game of the week. Thanks for watching, let me know which game was your favorite, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.